Hi, this is Grandpa Ken. Today I'm going to show you how to change a power steering pump on a 2003 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. It's my personal truck. For a while now, it's been making a squealing noise and like a hard turning noise when you apply the brake and steering at the same time. So uh, I tested the pump out, and the pump had good pressure, but it just, drives me crazy. It's a hydro system. So I figured, well, maybe it's pulsating. I have no idea. So what I did is I cleaned out all the fluid first, just to see if the fluid was breaking down. Well, it still made the noise. So I just bought a new pump, and I'm going to install it, and I'll walk you through it. Stand by. Everybody, this is Grandpa Ken. Just a little bit of information here. I'm working on my truck, 2003 Silverado, 6.0 liter. In case you don't know, I'm doing a power steering pump because I have a hydro system. If you look down in there, I'm hoping you could see. If you look down in there, I took out the whole bracket. And see the hydro system? So if you have a hydro system, best thing to do is take out the whole kit and caboodle. There's only 4 bolts. You just disconnect the battery. There is a, let me do this here. I'm sorry, it's kind of shaky. Bolt here on the bottom, right below the power steering pump. There's a bolt here. There's a bolt here. And there's a bolt there. And then on the back side, you'll have a bracket. Right here, you just unbolt that bracket from the block and undo your lines. And everything should come right out. After you take off the fan belt, of course. But this whole unit comes out. And let me tell you, when you take this pulley on and off, it'll save you tons of money and time. Because trying to do it inside the truck is a pain in the ass. I'll be back to take this pulley off. You're going to need a puller kit. You can get these puller kits at either Harbor Freight, or you could just rent them over at your local auto parts store like O'Reilly or AutoZone. They have these kits where they will take them off and install them. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll update you in a minute. I got it off. It took a little heat. I had to use my propane torch, but I got it off. But in the meantime, I broke my bit. So it's old. This kit's pretty old. But all you got to do now is take off this bolt, and this bolt, and it comes right out. And then after that, we're gonna press it back on. But it took a little bit of heat. I had to put some heat around this area around it, and it expanded it enough to where I put a little bit of monkey to it, and it came off. So now we're getting ready to put the old one off and a new one back on. These 3 bolts are 15s. Just zip them out with an impact, and when you torque them back on, I torqued mine at 60 pounds a piece. You don't want to go too tight, because if you do, you'll break the aluminum casting. That's what you don't want to do. Now I've got to take off the hose, high pressure hose, and I've got to take this bracket off and put it here on this one, and it's ready to go back in after that. So, and this is not a remanufactured one. This is a new one. And the only reason why I'm putting a new one on is because this is a hydro system. The brakes and the power steering work off of this. And the system, the old pump, was making all kinds of weird noises. I had good pressure, and at time I would lose a little bit of pressure here and there, but most of the time it had good pressure. It just made a lot of noise, and before it failed, I wanted to make sure I changed it. So brand new pump, only because it's a hydro system. Other than that, I probably would have got just a regular power steering pump, but it runs the brakes too, so it's a safety issue. Okay, and I'll be back as soon as I get everything swapped over. There it is. I reinstalled the pulley. And you can see it's all the way flush with it. You can look down, she's aligned. I'm sorry to shake too much, but I'm sorry, it's just the way I am. But anyway, there it is. Now I'm ready to reinstall it. A lot quicker to do it here than it is to do it inside. Just want to let you know I finished it. And look, it's all back down together again. I bled it, filled it, bled it up here, and filled it, but it's still making the squeaky noise, so it's gonna be that unit there. You see that blue piece right there? Too bad you can't just buy that. You have to buy the whole unit. But anyway, that's gonna be it. So power steering pump changed. All done in a 2500 Silverado. The easy way, just take that whole bracket apart. Anyway, this is Grandpa Ken. I'm out. Now you know how to change a pump. Let me readjust this camera here. Now you know how to change a pump. Well, I drove it around, tested it, and it still made the noise. So, not loud, but it still made it. So, I did look online, and I found a recall, or a announcement, as they call it, that there is a relief bore in the system that may be faulty on these systems. Now, I called Chevrolet about 2 weeks ago to ask them if there was any recalls on the hydro system or steering or anything on the brakes on that thing, and they said no. I gave them my VIN number, but see, that's typical of Chevrolet. They never have nothing in their system. One of the worst offenders is Chevrolet. Dodge, they do a pretty good job of having things in their system. Same with Ford. There's a recall in there. If you give them the VIN number, they'll normally have it in their system. But every time I call Chevrolet on something like that, even though it's listed, I'm reading it right off of the NTSB website, or the NHTSA website. I'm reading it right off of that. So it's a valid thing. It wouldn't be there if it wasn't. So Chevy has no idea about this. So, but that's, like I said, that's typical Chevy. This is the third time I've had a problem that ended up being a recall, and they say there's no recall. But yet, what I do is I find it online. So what I'm going to do is call the 800 number, because what they do is they give you an 800 number. You give them your VIN number. They send you a recall notice. Then you take it into Chevrolet or, your dealership, and they fix it for you, because this is actually a safety hazard because it affects the brakes and the steering. So if they're having a bore problem with the relief housing on the hydro boost system, then they need to take care of it. It's been going on since the truck was new. It's just that it only did it periodically, and now it's gotten to the point where it does it all the time. So I thought, well, let me replace the power steering pump just to see, but no, it didn't work. It's still doing it. So if you have a problem with something like that, let me know. You can go ahead and email me at thegrandpakenshow@gmail.com, and I'll send you all the information on that. It just doesn't cover 2003. It looks like it covers 2002, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you have a question about it, you can either contact me and I'll dig up the information and send it to you, or you can just go to the NHTSA website, which is a government website, and they'll have all that information there for you. And it's free. You don't have to join anything. It's all free data. So just let me know. But anyway, this is Grandpa Ken. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you learned something. And we'll do it again someday. I'm out.